Our most recent mass shooting is with Robert Bowers, the synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh. And we hear a great deal about the causes for that the causes is the toxic media and the divisive politics. But our daughters are exposed also to the same toxic media, the same divisive politics. They're also exposed to the same access to the same guns, the same video games, the same violence in the media, the same family values. Our daughters are not doing the killings, our sons are. And when we look down about the boys who are doing the killings, we find common denominators. With Robert Bowers, at the age of 6, his father shot himself, and he obviously therefore lost father involvement from age 6 on. We saw this with David Katz in Jacksonville, and one of the other most recent shootings. At age 11, his parents divorce. He's brought up by his mom only. A very fraught relationship with knives taken out by both mother and son toward each other. He was without his dad since age 11, without his dad for all practical purposes. With Nicholas Cruz at Parkland, the same lack of father involvement. With Adam Lanza at Sandy Hook, the same lack of father involvement. Elliot Rogers at UCSB, divorce, lack of father involvement. Dylan Roof at Charleston, divorce, lack of father involvement. Stephen Paddock at Las Vegas, father in prison, doesn't come out and spend time with Stephen. A huge amount of anger there about the lack of father involvement and the biggest shooting and killing in U.S. history. So all of this helps us understand that obviously father involvement or lack of father involvement is no excuse for killing. However, if we want to prevent our boys from having such emotional strife and such loss of constructive role models and such isolation and loneliness and not being able to be discovered by a role model that can be constructive and lead them through life in a way that creates bonding through roughhousing and creates discipline through boundary enforcement. These are the gifts of father involvement that are very helpful for boys not drifting into isolation, loneliness, anger, and alienation and addiction to either guns or video games and so on. If you have absolutely no possibility of having your son involved with a biological dad, get him involved with a stepdad, but make sure the stepdad is free to be a father-like figure to him. Don't just use the stepdad as a wallet. Make sure that you get him involved in faith-based communities. Whether find a good priest, a good minister, a good rabbi that will be a good role model, but ask that priest, minister, or rabbi to organize other boys of your son's age so your son can talk in private with other boys about what are his feelings of insecurity, what are the holes in his heart. And when boys are able to see that other boys share those same experiences, they feel less lonely. They bond in friendship with those boys. Boys who have good friends and who feel like they're not isolated and lonely, they are not the ones that drift into significant problems. They're not the ones that drift into video game addiction or porn addiction or start to fantasize shooting up the people that don't understand them, like them, or love them. There's also a number of adventure weekends that are very helpful for boys. Young men's adventure weekends, young men's ultimate weekends, groups called Boys to Men, the Mankind Project. Look those up. Make sure your boy is involved with those. Make sure your boy is involved with team sports. Don't ask him to be involved with team sports. Require him to be involved with team sports. Know that you have the ability as a parent to require your children to do things. Feel comfortable risking the alienation temporarily, and know you have plenty of things to take away from them if they don't do things like get involved with team sports or other activities which are likely to give them exercise, motivation, and not have them drift into purposelessness. If we want to stop hurting ourselves, we have to remember that boys who hurt us.